Welcome in, Aries. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. For those of you that are new, my name is Lisa. Welcome to Say It Soul Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome back, guys. Again, hope everybody's doing awesome. So, Aries, this is going to be your general love reading for the month of June. So, it is a pretty long read, just to give you a heads up on that. I did already pull your oracle cards. You're on the left. Your person on your mind in love is on the right. As always, guys, general reads, keep that in mind. Cross watchers, feel free to swap sides and or energies. So, Aries, I'm going to walk you through your cards, pull some tarot, get some feelings, actions for the month of June. I pulled the oracle cards off camera just because it takes like 10 minutes or sometimes longer. So nobody wants to watch me shuffle for 10 minutes. So that being said, as always, guys, general read, so please only take what resonates. If you are interested in a personal read, feel free to reach out to me. It's just sayitsoultarot@gmail.com. The email address is in the description box of this video. As well, I did want to give a big shout out to those of you who take the time to subscribe, comment, like on the video. It really does make a huge difference. So again, thank you for those that do that. And so let's dive on in here, Aries. It definitely looks like there's a lot going on. Yikes. I feel like for a lot of you, you're, in the middle of a situation here. So I feel like for a lot of you, might definitely have a choice between two people. So kind of, I feel like you're at a crossroads here about where you want to put your effort, what's worth your effort. I do feel low that, the person on your mind here, I definitely feel like your pride was hurt, probably sometime in April. So I feel like there was something that went down in April, either between you and this person, or it could be outside of love. Doesn't even have to necessarily be this person, but some way, somehow, your pride was injured in some way, shape, or form. So I do feel like, Aries, you are a fire sign. So obviously, I feel like fire signs in general kind of, it's hard not to take somebody kind of wagging their finger at you and not take it personal. Um, but I do feel like, there was maybe some hurtful words that were said to you, and you're having a hard time kind of like either forgiving that person or kind of moving on, or, maybe there was some truth in something that somebody said to you and you're internalizing that and trying to, kind of honestly take a look at yourself. So we did recently have Saturn is now, as of today, moving into Aries. So Saturn in Aries, it's going to be, Saturn really talks about those lessons, karma. So I definitely feel like, that's really the start of a new cycle. So I feel like for a lot of you, releasing any kind of old baggage or resentments or bitterness, and again, not letting pride get in your way here of an important connection, an important person to you, I feel like is being asked of you. So this could also talk about you needing to either forgive yourself, forgive this person. For some of you, you might actually be in the midst of, cutting ties with somebody or wanting to cut ties in a situation in order to move towards somebody else on your mind here. So spending a lot of time possibly by yourself in contemplation mode here. What's the best thing for me to do here? How do I really feel about this person? Can I see myself, being with this person, waking up to this person every day? Is that really something that's realistic? And again, just like really taking a step back from the situation and evaluating kind of like what's important to you, where you really want to go, what your goals and aspirations are, and does this person, fit into those dreams that you might have, about what you want to build for yourself for the future. So I do feel like, you've been thinking about this person a lot. This only you card came out, devoted, attached, and crave. I feel like this person has given you and or, this person really does light you up. I feel like you are excited to hear from this person. You definitely might be looking at old text messages, pictures of this person. And again, spending a lot of time thinking about them, thinking about what's the best thing to do here, what's the fair thing to do, what's the just thing to do. The bottom of the Moonology deck, as I say that, a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. So I feel like for a lot of you, if you are embroiled in some sort of legal situation with somebody else. That could also be, an ex or something outside of that. It does look like it's gonna, wield in your favor. So I feel like just know that Spirit is wanting to let you know that things are gonna work out. And it's funny because actually the bottom of the Wizard of the Oz decks was Wheel of Fortune and then the King of Swords. We got the King of Swords twice. So I feel like you are pretty wise. You could also have a pretty strong air placement in your chart. Doesn't have to be. You could also be dealing with an air sign, Aries. So I do feel like for you, I feel like really getting to the crux here. So you're coming through for your animal spirit for the month of June as the zebra. So I love this because I feel like, you're trying to, again, kind of find the joy in the everyday again, going on a trip. You might be planning to go on a trip here soon. You might be thinking of inviting this person to go on a trip so the two of you can spend some time together. But your third eye is on and open. So again, very, I feel like you are a very, successful, wise, smart person. I feel like, again, I feel like you're just really sorting out your feelings, Sometimes it's hard for us to get in touch with our feelings. We really need to take a step back from the situation to really evaluate, are me and this person on the same page? Do we have the same goals? Um, so just really examining all of those things. But I do feel like there was a reason you met this person. I don't ever feel like anything is random like that. So definitely divine timing at play. So I don't know, maybe originally when you met this person, you weren't able to take this relationship any further or where you wanted to go. And for others of you, if you were in a relationship with this person in the past, I feel like you are still thinking about this person, and there could have been a break in communication or a breakup at some point. But I do feel like you haven't quite been able to, get this person out of your system, so to speak. There's still a lot of maybe unfinished business between the two of you. There's a pretty strong physical attraction between the two of you, so a lot of chemistry with that fire card coming out. This is the mutual energy between the two of you. So there still is passion, I feel like, on both sides, on your side and your person's side. So just know that. So let's talk about your person. I feel like there has been a lot of chaos and conflict. It might not even have to do with you, but definitely, there were some issues here, clashing, differences, incompatibilities, whether that be about what you see for the future, what your goals are. This person definitely just might have a lot of chaos going on around them, whether that be at work with family members. This person might be, being pulled in a bunch of different directions and like, juggling a lot of balls in the air right now. But again, I don't feel like it has everything to do with you here, Aries. I feel like this is just stuff that this person is working through. And they are working through some insecurities as well because they got the You Are Good Enough card, full moon in Virgo. So again, kind of struggling, trying to find balance, I feel like, in their own life outside of this relationship. So I don't know, maybe this chaos and conflict that this person was going through, they were projecting this onto you, and that was really, causing you to kind of take a step back and, let this person like figure out their shit, basically, get their shit together before the two of you come back together. Um, this person is very sensitive, so, with the lizard card coming through, all of their chakras are turned on at the same time. So again, feeling very sensitive. And again, I feel like, again, a little bit of projecting. So again, that might have really kind of turned you off here. Something may have, happened, or something that they may have said, kind of, you weren't really super stoked about what this person maybe had to say. And now you're like really questioning whether or not, you want to be with this person, you want to continue this relationship for some of you. So definitely looks like there is going to be, some conversation, I feel, in the month of June, but let's see what comes out here. Let's ask about like a decision's going to be made here, because the bottom of the deck after your pre-shuffle was Judgment and the Knight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So again, Do I, I need to make a decision here. Am I moving towards love? Am I willing to put in some more time and effort here in this relationship? And I feel like this is you in the boat here, Aries, thinking about that. So let's see here. How does this person currently feel about Aries, please? Feelings. How does this person feeling about Aries? Two of Cups coming out. It's nice. I'll talk about that card in a minute. Tell me more about this person's feelings about Aries. So, Six of Swords, High Priestess. So I feel like this person is, trying to follow their intuition here with you. They definitely are getting messages from their guides. This person that you're dealing with definitely could be on more of a spiritual journey than you. So that can definitely be in one of these, incompatibility things here kind of showing up in your relationship. So maybe one of you is quite religious and the other one isn't. Again, take it how it resonates. With the Two of Cups, I do like, I love the Two of Cups. It's probably one of my most favorite cards in the deck. But these two people are dressed very differently. They come from different backgrounds. So there could be a lot of differences just, outside of your feelings for each other. So as much as you have this cup of love for each other and you're exchanging it and you want to exchange it, there could be extenuating circumstances around you that, are kind of playing havoc. So that could be family members, this person's friends, their family. And again, different backgrounds, different religions, different, even, financially, right? Somebody could be more well off than the other. That could be an insecurity. So again, take it how it resonates because, I'm reading for the collective here. This isn't a personal. But they are wanting to work things out with you here, Aries. I don't feel like this person wants to give up on this relationship with you. They're trusting their guides, they're trusting their intuition that everything is going to work out. So even though whatever conflicts that you and them have had in the past, this person is wanting to move past that. And, Six of Swords really talks about, making making it through a rough patch. So definitely you and this person might be going through a rough patch, or you might completely have taken, a side step and said, okay, well, I feel like, maybe we need to spend some time by ourselves for right now. Maybe you said to this person, you need to, figure out your stuff. And what you're really wanting, and a lot of that kind of stuff. So but they are wanting to get to calmer shores here, get out of this rough patch with you, Aries. And again, trusting their intuition here. I do like that. And again, I feel like this person, they could also be a reader, somebody who is into tarot, somebody again on a spiritual journey for sure. We have the bottom of the deck here is the divinity. We have guides and the high priestess out. So to me as a reader, that basically tells me that this person, definitely could be working on themselves, trying to heal some of these issues that they might have. You know, you may have had a conversation with them about this as well, about, if this is to move forward, you really need to work on, maybe your anger issues or how you deal with conflict or just in general. So again, take it how it resonates here. So let's see how Aries feels about this person. How does Aries feel about this person, Spirit? What are Aries' feelings towards this person? So we have the Two of Wands. There you are, trying to make a decision here. Just like we saw Judgment on the bottom of the deck here. Tell me more about Aries' feelings for this person. Queen of Swords. King of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. So it looks to me like you are trying to figure out here, can this really, should I really invest my time, my energy? Can we kind of come to some sort of agreement here? Can things become a little bit more stable? And again, if your person's been going through like a lot of external conflicts outside of this relationship, can we, find stability again together? Or is it really best to hang on to the past here, or should we actually like move forward together, or move on really? Like, should I keep, hanging on to this hope that things are going to move forward and things are going to stabilize? Is this really the best thing for my stability, my future? And again, we already talked about all this, so sorry, your cards are coming through a little bit repetitive here, Aries, because that's exactly what I talked about in that to the C card here. But again, I feel like you're at the crux here about kind of trying to make a decision. I didn't get any cups coming out in your energy. So let's just ask again, how does Aries really feel? What are Aries' feelings? What is Aries feeling? What are their feelings here, Spirit, for this person? Tell me about their feelings, please. So we have the Emperor. That's you. It's your card. I feel like on some level here, Aries, that you're almost, I feel like you are really attracted to this person. A lot of physical attraction. That definitely might have been how this relationship started for you and them. You're not so much about your feelings right now. Maybe you're feeling like you need to protect yourself here as well with that Four of Pentacles. Like, I'm not going all in until I kind of know for sure that this is going to work out. And I want to say, Aries, you're either you kind of like take that leap of faith and love, put yourself out there and be vulnerable with this person. I feel like that's really, what you're wanting to do, what you're kind of being guided to do. But you're going to need to like open up here because I feel like you're really closed off. And I don't know why. So I guess we could ask. I mean, the Emperor and the Four of Swords. I mean, the Emperor is pretty stoic, um, and not, I don't know, maybe you're really not sure how you feel about this person right now. And that's really what you're thinking about. Let's ask. Let's see what we get here. Why the Emperor and the Four of Swords here for Aries feelings? Why the Emperor and the Four of Swords? King of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you are, trying to possibly figure out how you actually feel about this person. Do I really want to let this person in? I don't know. Maybe you've had some bad experiences, Aries, in love. I mean, who hasn't? But again, I feel like you're in such a protective mode here that, I feel like your person definitely could be picking up on like that you seem so closed off to your emotions. That could definitely be throwing your person off here as well. Like, I don't know what to make of, Aries' reaction, or like I'm trying to pull some emotion out of Aries, but I'm getting nothing. So, it's kind of like, sometimes you send a text message to somebody and then you're kind of fishing for a compliment, or like you feel like the person might be fishing for a compliment. You say something to them like, oh, I was thinking about you last night. And the response back from your person, I mean, you want to get a message back saying, oh, that's awesome. I was also thinking about you, right? But this gives me the energy of this person reaching out to you, saying, "Hey, Aries, I had a really hot dream about you last night, something along those lines." And then you're like, "Oh, great," and then nothing. So maybe think about that. And again, it might be because you're not really sure how you feel. You don't want to be like saying something that's not true. Um, because I don't know, maybe you and this person don't even really know each other that well. Maybe you're really not, maybe, authentically, truly, you really don't know how you feel about this person. So you don't want to be, telling them that you love them and like, love bombing them when you're not there yet. Like, so you might be um, hesitant to, tell this person that you're missing them or that you were thinking about them. Um, and again, I feel like you do need to open up a little bit here, Aries. If you want to be with this person, you're gonna need to like open up a bit and be a little bit, more forthcoming about your feelings. Yeah, it's really what I'm getting because I feel like that is, I'm kind of getting mixed signals here. This person might be getting mixed signals. This might be triggering this person. And then that's just creating more chaos for this relationship. So I don't know. I mean, if you're right now, if you're in the energy of like, I don't really know how I truly feel about this person, I don't want to say anything that I'm going to regret. So again, kind of like telling somebody that you love them when you really don't, or I don't want to give them any false impression about how I'm actually feeling right now. I guess maybe just still take some time to really figure out how it is that you actually feel. And if you don't really know this person very well, then you can still show your feelings in other ways, by being responsive, being attentive, spending more time together to try and figure that out. But I feel like at the end of the day here, you are going to need to open up a bit if you want this relationship to work. And again, I feel like this is kind of triggering your person. They're probably getting up in their head, creating more problems than there really needs to be, you know? Um, yeah. So that would be my suggestion to you. For those of you, if this maybe do suggest going on a, mini vacation or something together with that zebra card that really talks about, going on an adventure. So maybe go away with this person for 3 or 4 days and like, you're trapped together for 4 days. You'll have a pretty good idea, I think, how you feel about this person after spending 4 days, 24 hours together. Do what you need to do here, I feel like, to get to the bottom of how you actually feel about this person. And I mean, sometimes you don't know that, right? Maybe things are like, you know, rosy and things are great or things were great. And then, I'm sure everybody's been there. You meet somebody, spending some time together, you're trapped together, in an elevator or like, anyway, I'm being funny. Um, or, you decide to go on a trip, 3-day trip to the mountains or something, go skiing together. And at the end of that, that's the end of that relationship, right? So I feel like, I don't know why I want to tell you this, Aries. I feel like maybe that's something you need to do. Maybe you need to spend, 3, 4 days, 24/7 together, and then you'll have a better idea as to, can I see myself waking up with this person every day? Or is this just like, no, I don't think so. This isn't my person. So, that's an experience in itself, right? Like a learning experience for sure. So, again, cross watcher, I'm not trying to like, throw you under the bus here that it's going to be a terrible time. I don't feel like that's true, but sometimes you need to spend, be put in that kind of situation to kind of really figure out, is this person going to drive me bananas? It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have seen the Heartbreak Kid where Ben Stiller, I can't remember her name, and the blonde girl, she's really attractive. He ends up marrying her, doesn't really know her very well, and then as time goes on, he discovers more things about her, and he's just like mortified, right? So it's kind of that idea. So maybe spend some time, some hardcore time together to really get to the bottom of your feelings here before you like, end this relationship or take it to the next level. So I feel like that might be some good advice here for you, Aries. So let's talk about actions. Is this person going to take any actions towards Aries in June? And I mean, you don't have to go anyplace crazy special. You could even just go camping or something that's less expensive if finances are an issue. So Knight of Swords coming out. Definitely some messages from your person here, some action. Yeah. Okay. So this person, like I mentioned already, they are already a little bit feeling ignored, I want to say, by you. And again, if you've kind of taken a step back from this person or this situation, they are really triggered by it, like I already talked about. Um, this person also wants to say, like, why are you, maybe you were avoiding telling them some kind of truth in some way, shape, or form about your feelings. But this person just really, at the end of the day, they want to know how you're feeling. I feel like you need to be honest, Aries. So if you really at this point are like, yeah, I really enjoy this person, I like spending time with them, I'm really attracted to them, but I really don't know, at the end of the day, I really don't know where I stand, then I feel like just say that. Be honest with this person. Like you could even say, like, I don't know you that well. We haven't really spent that much time together. So you're asking something of me that I'm really not sure. So I don't want to, tell you something false or untrue, but this is really where I'm at, if that makes sense. And again, if you're unsure about, um, continuing on here, again, I suggest spending some serious time together 24/7 to figure that out. I feel like you'll have an answer after that. So this person wants the truth about your feelings. That's really what they're wanting. So be prepared to get a message from them. And again, for some of you, this person feels like you've been avoiding them or like not paying attention to them. Um, like I need an answer. So I don't know. There could have been a stalemate here where you and them, had a bit of falling out, and your person was like, I need to know how you feel. And Aries, you're like, I don't know, at this point, I need to think about things. And, whatever happened in that last conversation definitely hurt you in some way. And, for sure, because, now you're feeling a little bit prideful, a little bit, you know? Um, so be prepared to feel like this person is going to send you a message saying, hey, Aries, I have not heard from you. I still need a response here. I really need to know the truth about how you actually feel, you know, hence your response here. So I feel like you might already know this is coming. This may have happened already for some of you, but it looks like, it's like, oh, I don't want to have this conversation, you know? And again, I'm not really sure, we have the moon there, the Four of Cups. I don't know if, I want to be in a long-term relationship. I got Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. But again, a lot of attraction, but I don't know if I really want to be in a high level commitment with somebody or open my heart to love. So looks to me like Aries, you're going to have some, you need to get in touch here with your feelings, be honest with your person here. And again, I suggest spending some time together if you're not sure, if that makes sense. So let's get some messages out. Something that Aries may not know about the situation with this person. Hidden messages, higher self messages, spirit. Something that will help Aries here. Messages to Aries, please, from this person. All right, we have, I am blocked. You are too nice. I don't deserve your kindness. I can't promise you anything. Emotions overwhelm me. I feel like this one might be for you, Aries, a little bit. Any other messages for Aries? Doesn't look like it. All right, I'm going to just do a quick shuffle again and see if I can get anything else. Messages to Aries. Any other messages for Aries from this person? All right, you've triggered me. I talked about that and childhood trauma. Yeah, so your person here, Aries, definitely, you've triggered them. I definitely feel like this person, I hope you didn't block this person, Aries. I mean, I feel like that's a terrible thing to do. Um, just in general, ghosting, anything along those lines. I just feel like that's, nobody deserves that. So hopefully that's not what happened here, but I am blocked. This could just mean, this person is dealing with their own insecurities here. And again, a little bit of like self-loathing or not feeling good enough possibly to be with you as well. But again, I feel like it's because you've been kind of maybe holding back here, Aries, on how you actually feel about this person, that you actually are really interested, kind of sending mixed signals, if I'm being honest here. And that is triggering your person. So I feel like, to avoid this whole, all of this drama that's happening between the two of you, you need to speak up. You need to be honest. You need to really speak your truth here. And I feel like that will just like make a world of difference between the two of you. This will really help your person not be triggered. And again, talking about, things that, kind of what your needs are, what your expectations are in a relationship. And again, leaving somebody unread, not responding to somebody's message, blocking somebody. I mean, I really strongly, I really don't agree with any of those things. You know, I like, unless somebody's like seriously harassing you, fine, you can block them. But other than that, I feel like, what? Somebody's kind enough to send you a message, they deserve a response back. That's just having respect for the other person. Even if, you have to say the tough thing, respond, you know? Again, I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like with texting and stuff like that, social media, there's this, I don't know, like, I don't feel like, I feel like sometimes nowadays people are so quick to like throw people away, like they don't mean anything, like it's like, and I really disagree with that, because I feel like it really actually does trigger people. It really is upsetting, and I feel like it's really unnecessary and really disrespectful. But hey, that's my opinion. Anyhow, sorry for the rant. So I'm going to end your reading here, Aries. Hopefully something I said helped in some way, shape, or form. As always, guys, general read, so please, again, only take what resonated here for you. I would love to hear from you, so feel free to reach out. And if you felt like I was throwing you under the bus a little bit, I got to be honest. I got to say what I see. And again, it's not going to be for all of you. So, all right, guys, take care, and hopefully I'll see you in your mid-month